Hello there everyone again. I know in my last video I said that I got to play the demo version of Skylanders Giants at Best Buy. I know I tend to ramble a little bit in my videos, and I didn't want that last one to drag on any longer than it already was. And there's just so much to talk about in that one level of Giants that I thought I'd dedicate its own video to it. And like I said, there were 4 figures I could play with for the demo. Tree Rex, Punch Pop Fizz, Jet Vac, and Light Core Prison Break. To go and tell you a little bit about the characters, my impressions of them. Tree Rex, he's pretty cool. I mean, he's the giant, so I mean, he can lift up boulders and push walls and do all the cool giant stuff. The only attacks, all the characters I play with, I guess I should mention, were at level 1, and every time you pulled them off the portal, since they were just the demo version, they'd lose any experience or gold they already had. So I couldn't really level anyone up or upgrade them or anything like that. But starting off, Tree Rex, the only attacks he had was his first move was just where he like slams his fist down on the ground and creates like a little earthquake. And his second move was when he charges forward with his like thorny arm and bashes into any enemies he runs into. I was kind of worried at first that the Giants would be too overpowered, but after getting to play with him, they really did do a good job of making sure they stay balanced. Jet Vac, he wasn't bad, he just wasn't that great either, and maybe he'll be cooler when he gets upgraded, so don't, judge him too harshly just yet. His only attacks, though, were his gun could blow out bursts of air as like a ranged attack, and his second attack was where his gun actually vacuums everything up. And it's pretty handy for picking up coins and experience and food close by to you. And if it's a small enemy like a Chompy, you can suck it up and hurt it too. Pop Fizz was my favorite, and of course with this demo, like I said, it's the Punch variant that comes with the 3DS starter, but the only difference is he's red instead of blue. His 2 attacks were throwing the bottles of the potions in his backpack as just like a ranged attack, kind of like Boomer's dynamite throw. And then the other attack of Pop Fizz's was really cool. It's his Beast Mode transformation, which if you've seen the opening trailer, you know what I'm talking about. And that one's really cool because he moves a lot faster, and he punches, and he claws, and he attacks, and just goes crazy. The only problem is that it's only for a limited amount of time, and after you use it, you have to wait for it to recharge before you can use it again. But still, it was really cool. And then the last one was Prison Break. And, well, he played just like Prison Break. He's just like his Spyro's Adventure character. He does the crystal drop, and he does his prism laser, and that's it. I've heard a lot of things say that Light Core figures are supposed to do some kind of like big bomb attack when they're like first summoned in the level or something like that. But I couldn't actually figure out how to get that to work. Maybe it was just because it was the demo version or something like that, but I didn't really see the appeal of the Light Core. Prison Break's hands lit up, but I mean, they lit up, that was about it. Oh, and Tree Rex's eyes and the beam on his fist also lit up. But yeah, to get to the level, it starts off, like I said, it's Chapter 3. The name of the title of the level is Rumble Town. So you're already part way into the story, and I don't really know what's going on since I don't have any idea of the story just of yet. But it starts off with you, your character, whatever character's on the portal at the time, Callie and Flynn flying in on a hot air balloon into a town, and they're telling you that they're looking for some kind of hermit. They don't really say why you're looking for him. I'm sure that'll be explained later in the story. They talk to you for a second, and then you're pretty much turned loose to explore. You run into a few enemies. They're mostly just Chompies and the Chompy spawner pods. I passed by an undead gate. Since I didn't have an undead character, I couldn't explore it. The one thing I do have to say about the levels, though, is that they definitely are a lot bigger than Spyro's Adventure. It took me a full half an hour just to get through the whole level. And when I say it's a lot bigger, I don't necessarily mean that the level is, like, longer. If you did nothing, if you didn't do any exploring, just ran forward, killed all the enemies, and just, try to make like you were doing the time goal, you could make it, in the time goal I believe was like 8 minutes. But there's a lot more like forks in the path and different things you can look into and explore. And I'll try to make sure I cover everything. I don't want to forget anything. But but yeah, like I say, and that brings me to the other elemental gate that I ran into was a life elemental gate. And actually, I shouldn't even call them elemental gates anymore. In Spyro's Adventure, you just actually walked through the gate, you did a little puzzle or something, you got a hat, you left, that was it. In this game, the elemental areas are full areas to explore. There's, all sorts of different twists and turns you can take, and different things you can do. One of the cool things in the life elemental area was there was a thing like an ambush, I guess. I mean, it's going to be in probably a new like gameplay trap or something like that, where the narrator actually screams out ambush, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, 3 evil stealth elf clones jumped out. They're clones just like you would fight in a boss fight in Spyro's Adventure. Luckily, I was playing as Tree-Rex, so it was pretty easy to kill them, but I mean, I still had a pretty tough time. The giants are a lot slower, so it was hard to track down the stealth elf clones and get them to hold still long enough for Tree-Rex to kill them. I did find another hat, though, in that area. It was a carrot hat, it was called. It was kind of like an orange beanie with like leaves on top. But yeah, and there was a few other things in there, too. It was cool. Another thing you see are characters you kind of got to know in Spyro's Adventure. Quigley made a couple of appearances, and there was also Oric, the rich banker guy that if you talked to him after you beat Spyro's Adventure, he gave you a lot of money. He was in there. He's actually running a shop in this level. There are a few cool items in the shop. There were a couple of hats from the previous game that you could buy in the shop. There were a couple of potions to like heal your Skylander or to make him stronger for a little longer, and stuff like that. Nothing really of interest. And like I said, since every time I'd switch out my characters, they would lose whatever gold they had on them. I didn't have enough saved up to buy anything. But yeah, moving on. Another cool thing I could do was you can actually go inside houses too. There a lot of times there'll just be a small little room with a couple enemies, maybe a treasure chest or a key, and but it was just kind of a nice touch to see they included. Wow, I just looked at the timer and realized it's already been an 8. This is already a 7.5 minute video, and I'm just scratching the surface. There was so much I did, and it was really so cool. I said the final end of the game level ended with fighting a boss fight with a Goliath Drow by the name of Brock. He was running kind of like a gladiator-style arena. You had to fight a few other Drow spearmen before you got to him, and then, like I said, he was the boss fight, and you saved the Hermit. Again, I don't really know what his purpose was just yet. Because it was the demo, they had it simplified. I couldn't look at any of the menus or upgrade screens or anything like that. All I could do was play the level and replay it. I think that's about everything of note. Like I said, I talked about the characters. The levels are huge. It was awesome. I really enjoyed it. There seems like there's going to be a lot more collectibles, legendary treasures. You can actually get winged sapphires inside the levels now. Instead of just like in your hub area. Like I said, I could talk about this demo forever. It was so cool. If you have a Best Buy near you, go look and see if they have this demo just so you can try it, even though it's only a couple days early. If there's anything else you want to know that maybe I skipped over, please leave a question in the comments, subscribe to my videos. Thank you so much for watching. I know I talked way longer than I should, but thank you anyway for listening. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, and look forward to my hunting videos I will have for you in just a couple more days. Have fun, Portal Masters.